How our children like salmon. And no, I'm not going for the obvious joke of we have a school in our house and they're part of a school too. I'm not trying to be cute, though I might be cute sometimes. Let's get into that, and I'll explain how I wished I would have known this before I started homeschooling. I'm Jacqueline, if you don't know, and this is Homeschool Hangout.xyz, and we are talking about something I wish I would have known before I started homeschooling, oh my gosh, 16, 17 years ago. If you like these kinds of videos, do me a favor, thumbs up, like, subscribe, join the family, all the stuff. This is part of a collab of a bunch of us YouTubing homeschoolers. And it's being run by Calm in the Chaos Homeschool and Homegrown Homeschool. And there will be a playlist in the bottom of lots of other beautiful people who want to share with you what they wished they would have known before they started. And I'm also part of a very large giveaway, like $250 gift cards to multiple people. But details about that will be at the end, and it's completely separate from the YouTube collab. But let's get into it. So I know what you're saying. What are you talking about? Children are like salmon. Okay, the one thing I know about salmon is it's born out of its little eggs, it goes away, and it is driven internally to come back to where it was spawned, spawn some of its own babies, and die. Now, I know that's depressing, and no, I swear this is not going to be depressing. I promise you. But what I think about when I think about that urge to go somewhere is this natural instinct and drive. And no matter what the weather looks like, or what the river looks like, or what the ocean looks like, ocean, mostly river, they will get to their destination. They don't even know where it is. If you stopped and asked a salmon, if you spoke salmon, I don't know that it would tell you where it was going. I don't know that it goes, oh, I have X amount of days until I go to this one place and I'm going to live my life to do that. No. But it knows somewhere in its soul that it's, I'm going to go with me here. I understand this is not a perfect metaphor. Have grace and mercy on me. But its soul is going to do what it takes to get closer to its destination at different points. And it may go, clearly, it leaves when it's born. So it's not always going to its final goal, but it may divert. It goes off and plays with its little friends. It does its little fishy things, and then it goes to do what it was called to do. Children are like this. Let me give you one example, and it's my own example. I'm a nerd. If you don't know this, we've never met in real life or even online, but I'm a nerd. I've always been a nerd. I like knowing things. And no, that doesn't mean I'm a know-it-all. I just like knowing things. I love reading history, and I love math, and I love science, and I love logic, and I love... and my husband's the same way. That's how we founded Nerd Family. We are, nerds who are pro-family, and we have a family that's pro-nerds. And I'm a bit of an introvert. My mother did not necessarily want that for my life. My mother wanted me to be a lawyer and a politician. Yeah. Which means she focused my childhood on equipping me for that. And don't get me wrong, those skills have not returned void. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to be here making videos for you guys. But starting in first grade, I was an oral interpretation doing Bear in My Frigidaire by Shel Silverstein because I needed to learn how to speak out, Louise. I needed to learn how to speak properly and elocute and all of that stuff. Now, there are darker sides, and there was a lot of darker sides to my childhood, but which meant if I wasn't so interested in being around people and wanted to sit and read, I got told that I was rude to everyone by not wanting to go play and just read. And there must be some sin in my life, which is the reason I didn't want to go be around people. Yeah, frequently I got told that. Versus you're an introvert. And not because I was being mean to people, but because I didn't want to go be around people. Not the same thing. And lots of other trauma. I have plenty of childhood trauma. We can have a cup of coffee and talk trauma sometime. But my mom, who was a criminologist and who went to law school for a couple of years, really wanted me to be in law, to the point that I'm 20, engaged to my husband, and she's introducing me to dudes who are police officers because they might be fun to go out with. Maybe, you could do computers for, a police station, Jackie. It's not a question of not understanding. I know where the law school is. We have a law school here in town. I know where it is, Mom. But it was a constant disappointment to her that I didn't want to go into law, that I didn't want to be a people pleaser, that I didn't want to aim my life at that. And why do I say that? I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love the law still. I just wanted to be in something with less peopling and more facts than persuasion, because I'm not that persuasive of a person. Because you have to be around people and engage with them more. I was not a popular child, what can I say? And it was a disappointment for her. She tried. And I could do all the things. And it's just not where my heart was. I am getting a project management certificate. I majored in computer science. I have a computer science associate's degree. I married a giant nerd. I love Jeopardy and College Bowl and University Challenge. And it may be that I have a touch of the autism, as has been made very clear to me over the years. But yeah. And so she was kind of disappointed. She did not want a computer programming, quiz nerd, comic book reading daughter. That's fine. I understand we all have hopes and dreams. I know that sounds kind of depressing, and I promise not to depress you. But here's the thing. It also isn't her fault. I have 4 children who, yes, they're my children, and so they might be interested in the same things I'm interested in. And many of them are, but not all of them are. You have that child who you're like, that kid has to go to college. So you start in preschool, getting them the college jerseys and say, college is the only way, college is the only way, college is the only way. And then when they're 16, 17, they go, you know what? I think I want to be an electrician. And trust me, electricians make great money. This isn't even a money thing. They're just not meeting the expectation. Now, why do I say that? One, I feel like frequently parents, and specifically homeschoolers, since that's the video I'm making, we want to make sure that our children are doing all the right activities to be the person that we hope for them to be. Either because we want them to do something and have a certain amount of financial success, we want them to do the things we didn't do, whatever the reasons. I'm not getting into your motivation here. This is not a slam on motivation. But it's the, they threw a ball once. Maybe they want to be a professional athlete. We need to have them in 3 different sports so all the doors are open when they're adults. I see, because I talk to a lot of homeschool parents, I know you're surprised. I see a lot of you putting a lot of pressure on yourselves to do all the things. All the things. Make sure they've got 25 subjects and you're mortgaging your house so they can play piano. And, okay, I don't really know anybody mortgaging their house. But I do see a lot of pressure that parents are putting on themselves to make sure they're doing it just right to produce the child, the adult they think their child can be. But here's the joy. That child's going where that child's going. Yes, you can feed them and nurture them and help keep them healthy and happy and well-developed as people. Frankly, a dead salmon doesn't go back. A sick salmon who can't swim all the way there doesn't get there. You're giving them the tools to live their lives successfully, but how they end up living their lives may not be exactly what you think it's going to be. Now, where's the happy? I know. You're like, Jackie, you promised me happy. Where's my happy, man? It's not your fault. And I'm not saying it like, oh, I did all the right things and they turned out wrong. No, I mean the other way. I have very smart children. All of my children are very smart. My husband, smarter than me. I knew the chances were good. I went through a lot of that of, well, maybe if they have a propensity for languages, I need to make sure they speak 3 languages by 6 years old, because children who are multilingual in preschool have the, oh yeah. But you know what? All my kids right now are learning German for fun. Yeah. They're 17. Well, mostly the younger ones. The 17-year-old and the 16-year-old are currently learning German. The 20-year-old did Spanish for high school, and this is a little bit of high school, but they've exceeded their high school. They're just doing it on Duolingo for fun as a family. If your kid is drawn to do something, they're going to figure out how to educate themselves to do it. Yes, they may not always be a prodigal, but that's okay. I'm sorry, not a prodigal, a progeny. I always think of them very similarly, frankly. But as they get older and start showing you the things they're good at, you can definitely invest in those piano lessons and do all this stuff. I'm not saying not to give your children those specialized things that feed their soul. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, Mom and Dad, you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself to offer them 25 different options of classes to see which one sticks. Because they'll find it. They'll find it. They'll tell you. They will. They'll tell you. I would have never thought to make sure my 17-year-old knew how to program in Minecraft. We had Minecraft. We liked Minecraft. We had a family server for Minecraft. I have 4 biological children. One of them programs in Minecraft and sells mods. No, the rest of them do. I have one who's a big crafter. I say all this. I don't want to say don't take it so seriously, but don't take it so seriously. Don't be having nightmares at this point in the year trying to make sure that you follow the magical mystery ride that will get you the guaranteed perfect child. I feel like right now in evangelical Christianity, you're starting to see a lot of it, because a lot of people in the purity culture who have kids slightly older than mine were told that if you follow all these steps, this is how you get this perfect Christian kid. And it didn't work. Mostly because your salvation is yours, not your parents'. And I can get into that conversation later. But what I'm saying is I don't care what formula anyone's telling you and what you want for your children. There's not magic involved. Your kids are like salmon. They're going to go where they're going to go. You can help them be happier. You can help them be safer. You can help them have the tools to know how to swim the best they can swim. But where they swim and how they swim isn't always up to you. My very long, meandering, what I wished I would have known. Because seriously, my oldest hit 3, and I wanted to make sure that I was helping him maximize that intellect that I already saw at that point. And he's the one who has decided to not go to college. And you know what? I'm happy for him. I just want him to be happy and healthy and a successful adult. I would love it, sure, if he got a PhD in history, I could see him doing it someday. But right now, he has no interest in it. I gave them a well-rounded education. Don't get me wrong. I have given them a well-rounded education. But I didn't freak out over a lot of those details as they got older and I realized I didn't have control. But it also means you don't have the blame. Seriously. Seriously. Because they're going to go where they're going to go. What do you think? Am I crazy? Am I just trying to make excuses for myself? Because I'll be honest, I don't think that any of my children are failures in any way, shape, or form. By the world standards, not just by my standards, by the world standards. So it's not like I'm just trying to make myself feel better. I'm just saying, breathe, Mom. Breathe, Dad. Breathe, the aunties and uncles and grandmas and grandpas. And let's talk about money. I like money. I am part of a huge giveaway, and they're giving away 3 different winners. Will get $250 in gift cards to, hold on a second, Christian Book Distributor is one of them, and I believe it's Rainbow Resource Center. So if you have any interest in that at all, do me a favor, pop over to Homeschool Hangout XYZ on this post and get all the details to enter, okay? And I will talk to you later. Bye.